Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins ever struck by the United States Mint, the 1964 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coin might look like an ordinary piece of change that you could easily overlook in your pocket, but the truth is, certain varieties of this penny have been discovered to be worth an incredible amount of money. Believe it or not, one of these rare 1964 D Lincoln pennies has been valued at a jaw-dropping $57,743. That's right, a single penny that could change your life forever if you happen to find it. So stay tuned as we explore everything you need to know about this coin, its history, its errors, its hidden value, and the reasons why collectors are paying such astonishing amounts for it today. Let's start with a little bit of history. The 1964 D Lincoln penny was produced at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small D Mint mark located just below the date on the coin. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of these pennies in 1964, making it one of the most common coins of its time. But as any experienced collector knows, rarity isn't always about how many coins were made, it's about how many survived in perfect condition, and whether any unique or rare varieties exist among them. That's exactly the case with the 1964 D penny. While most of these coins are worth only their face value, a small number of them were struck with errors or unique qualities that make them incredibly rare and valuable today. The 1964 D Lincoln penny features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. This design was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and it remains on our pennies even today. On the obverse, you'll find Lincoln's right-facing profile with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," along the top edge, "Liberty," on the left, and the date 1964 with the mint mark D on the right. The reverse of the coin displays the image of the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Below the memorial, you can see the denomination, 1 cent, and above it, United States of America, along with the motto, E Pluribus Unum. Now, here's where things get exciting. Although millions of these coins were made, certain 1964 D Lincoln pennies stand out because of striking errors and variations that occurred during production. Some of the most valuable ones are those with double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and even transitional planchet errors. Let's talk about these in more detail because they are the key to why this coin could be worth so much money. One of the most well-known and sought-after errors in the 1964 D penny is the double die variety. This happens when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice at slightly different angles, causing parts of the letters or numbers to appear doubled. On some 1964 D pennies, collectors have found noticeable doubling on the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and even the date itself. If you happen to spot such doubling with the naked eye or under magnification, you might be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Another rare and valuable variety is the repunched mint mark, also known as an RPM. In 1964, mint marks were hand-punched onto the dies, which means the D mint mark could have been stamped more than once. If the second stamping was slightly misaligned, it would create a visible doubling effect on the mint mark. These repunched mint marks are highly collectible, and depending on the sharpness and rarity of the strike, they can bring anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s. Off-center strikes are another fascinating error found in some 1964 D Lincoln pennies. This happens when the coin blank is not perfectly centered under the dies during the striking process. The result is a coin with part of its design missing or pushed toward the edge. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that are 50% off-center with clear visible features like Lincoln's face or the date can easily sell for several $1,000s at auction. There are also transitional errors and planchet mistakes that make some 1964 D pennies extremely rare. For example, a few coins were accidentally struck on leftover planchets from previous years or on wrong metal compositions. While 1964 pennies were supposed to be made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, some were reportedly struck on different planchets, such as those intended for foreign coins or experimental materials. These coins are exceptionally scarce and can bring enormous sums when authenticated. Now let's talk about condition and grading, because this is where the value truly skyrockets. A coin's condition is measured on a grading scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better preservation and sharper details. Most 1964D Lincoln pennies found in circulation today are heavily worn, with scratches, discoloration, and dull surfaces. But if you happen to find one in mint state condition, especially one graded MS65 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at a small fortune. Coins with brilliant luster, strong strike, and no visible wear are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. The record sale for a 1964D Lincoln penny in pristine condition was an astonishing $57,743. This particular coin was professionally graded, showing an incredibly sharp strike, mirror-like surfaces, and deep red coloration, the kind of coin that makes collectors' hearts race. These high-grade examples are rare because copper is a soft metal that easily tarnishes, scratches, and changes color over time. Finding a 1964D penny in near-perfect condition is like discovering a time capsule from 1964 itself. Let's also look at why this coin has become such a favorite among collectors. The 1964D Lincoln penny marks an interesting period in U.S. coinage history. It was the last year before major changes occurred in the composition of U.S. coins, particularly silver coins, which were replaced by base metals starting in 1965. This makes coins from 1964 a symbolic end of an era for many collectors. Furthermore, the Denver Mint had one of the highest production runs in its history that year, leading to a mix of standard coins and a few extraordinary mistakes. The kind of combination that fuels collector excitement. If you're wondering how to tell whether your 1964D penny might be valuable, here's what to look for. First, check for errors like doubling on the lettering or the date. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop for best results. Then, inspect the mint mark carefully. A repunched D could make your coin far more desirable. Next, evaluate the overall condition. Is the coin shiny and bright, or dull and scratched? If it looks nearly flawless, it could be worth sending to a grading service for professional evaluation. Collectors also value color designations on copper coins. You may have heard of terms like RD, RB, and BN. RD stands for red, referring to coins that retain their original bright copper color. RB means red-brown, which shows some toning but still retains partial original color. BN stands for brown, indicating a fully toned, darkened surface. Fully red coins from 1964 in top condition are the most valuable, with red-brown and brown coins following behind. Another key factor is strike quality. Some coins were struck with weak pressure, resulting in soft or blurry details. Others were struck sharply, showing crisp lettering and fine lines in Lincoln's hair and the memorial columns. The sharper the strike, the higher the coin's grade and market value. Now, you might be asking yourself, where can you find a 1964D Lincoln penny worth this much? The best place to start is your own pocket change, coin jars, or family coin collections. Many people overlook old pennies thinking they're worthless, but hidden treasures often lie in plain sight. You can also check local coin shows, estate sales, and online auction sites like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections. But always make sure to verify authenticity through professional grading services before making big purchases. The 1964D penny also holds strong sentimental and historical value. It's a piece of American history, representing a time of transition, change, and craftsmanship. For collectors, owning such a coin isn't just about money, it's about preserving a part of our national heritage. Each coin tells a story, from the mint workers who struck it to the millions of people who may have used it in daily life over the decades. As time passes, the number of high-quality 1964D Lincoln pennies continues to shrink due to wear, damage, and oxidation. That's why their value is only expected to increase in the coming years. If you own one, make sure to store it properly in a dry environment, inside an airtight holder or a coin flip made of inert materials to prevent corrosion. ChatGPT said, In the fascinating world of coin collecting, one coin that has captured the attention of collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic experts alike is the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, this coin may look just like any other regular penny you'd find in your pocket change. But what if I told you that this specific version has been valued at an astonishing $8 million? Yes, you heard that right. $8 million for a simple Lincoln penny minted in 1986 without a mint mark. Today, we're diving deep into its history, its errors, its unique characteristics, and why this coin is considered one of the rarest and most valuable in the modern age of U.S. coinage. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the incredible story behind the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent has a long and storied history dating back to its first appearance in 1909. It was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, replacing the Indian head cent that had been in circulation since 1859. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, the 16th President of the United States. Over the decades, the design has undergone several changes, including modifications to the reverse and the introduction of new materials used in production. By the time 1986 rolled around, the U.S. Mint had been producing the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse design since 1959. But the coin we're focusing on today stands out not for its design, but for what's missing: the mint mark. Normally, Lincoln cents struck in 1986 would carry a mint mark indicating where they were made. Coins from the Denver Mint would bear a small letter D beneath the date, while those from San Francisco, mainly proof coins, would show an S. Philadelphia minted coins, however, traditionally carried no mint mark. But in the mid-1980s, the Philadelphia Mint had begun using mint marks on certain coin types, creating a bit of confusion among collectors. What makes the 1986 no-mint mark penny so special is not just its lack of a mint mark, but the story and potential error behind its creation, a story that has turned this otherwise ordinary coin into one of the most sought-after rarities in U.S. coinage. In 1986, the U.S. Mint transitioned fully to using copper-plated zinc planchets, a change that had started in 1982 when copper prices rose significantly. Before that, pennies were composed almost entirely of copper, giving them a heavier weight and a distinct color tone. The 1986 penny, like others from the mid-1980s, was made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. However, certain examples from 1986 have been discovered that appear to have been struck on leftover copper planchets from the early 1980s. These transitional errors, coins struck on the wrong metal composition, are extremely rare and highly prized by collectors. In addition to the missing mint mark, the combination of the wrong planchet material makes this coin a true numismatic marvel. So what exactly makes the 1986 no-mint mark penny worth $8 million? The answer lies in its unique blend of rarity, error type, and historical significance. First, there's the possibility that this coin was struck using a leftover copper planchet from 1982, which makes it a transitional error. Transitional errors are coins that were minted using materials or dies from a previous production year, often due to oversight during a changeover period. These types of coins are highly collectible because they represent a tangible mistake by the U.S. Mint, a moment in history preserved in metal. Second, the no mint mark aspect adds another layer of rarity. While Philadelphia coins often lacked a mint mark, certain examples from this period were supposed to carry one, particularly on proof or special issue strikes. A combination of missing mint mark and incorrect metal composition makes this particular coin a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The coin's condition also plays a major role in its multi-million-dollar valuation. Numismatic value depends heavily on a coin's grade, that is, how well it has been preserved over time. The grading scale ranges from poor, P1, all the way up to mint state, MS 70. For a 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln cent to reach a valuation of $8 million, it would need to be in nearly perfect, uncirculated condition, likely an MS 69 or MS 70 example. Coins at this level are free of noticeable wear, scratches, or imperfections. They exhibit sharp details, original luster, and a stunning finish that makes them appear as though they've just left the minting press. Only a handful of examples meeting this level of preservation are known to exist, and when combined with the rarity of the error, the value skyrockets. Another factor driving the price is collector demand. Rare coins are like fine art. Their value is determined not just by scarcity, but by how much someone is willing to pay to own a piece of history. Over the years, collectors and investors alike have competed for ownership of rare Lincoln cents, with record-breaking auction results that continue to amaze. For instance, previous Lincoln-era coins, such as the 1955 double-die penny or the 1943 copper penny, have sold for hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. The 1986 no-mint mark penny now joins that elite category of coins that transcend their face value and become symbols of rarity and wealth. When examining the coin itself, there are a few telltale signs collectors look for. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner. The date 1986 appears to the right of Lincoln's image, and below it should be the area where a mint mark is typically found. On this particular coin, that area is completely blank, no D, no S, nothing at all. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, with the words United States of America at the top, the denomination 1 cent at the bottom, and the Latin motto E pluribus unum centered above the memorial. The overall design may look ordinary, but when inspected closely, experts can identify subtle details in the metal composition and strike that indicate it's no ordinary penny. Some experts believe that the missing mint mark could have resulted from a worn or clogged die, meaning the punch that creates the mint mark on the die was either filled with debris or not properly engraved. Others speculate that it could have been an intentional test strike that was never meant to be released into circulation. If so, the coin may have escaped the mint accidentally, later to be discovered by a sharp-eyed collector. Stories like this are what make coin collecting so exciting. The idea that a simple penny found in change could hold unimaginable value. Over the years, this coin has become the subject of fascination across the numismatic community. Professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, have authenticated a few examples of the 1986 no-mint mark penny that display these rare characteristics. These coins have fetched eye-popping sums at auction, setting new records for modern Lincoln cents. One particular specimen, in pristine uncirculated condition and verified as a transitional error, sold for several $1 million, sparking widespread interest and motivating collectors everywhere to recheck their old coin jars. For anyone hoping to find one of these rare 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies, there are a few things to keep in mind. Start by inspecting any 1986 pennies you may have in your possession. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to carefully check the area beneath the date. If there is absolutely no mint mark, and the coin appears to have a slightly heavier weight or richer copper color, you may have something special. Weighing the coin can also help determine its composition. A standard zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while a copper penny weighs around 3.11 grams. That difference may seem small, but it's crucial in identifying a potential transitional error. If your coin appears to match these characteristics, it's best to handle it carefully and have it evaluated by a professional grading service. What's truly remarkable about this story is how it reminds us of the hidden value that can exist in everyday objects. A simple penny, worth just 1 cent, can hold within it a story of human error, history, and rarity that transforms it into a treasure worth millions. The 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has proven that even in an age of mass production, true rarity can still emerge unexpectedly. It stands as a testament to the enduring fascination people have with coins and the thrill of the hunt that keeps collectors searching. So next time you come across a handful of change, take a closer look before spending it. You never know, that ordinary-looking penny could turn out to be one of the rarest coins in the world, possibly worth a life-changing fortune. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2003 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has recently shocked collectors and numismatists around the world with a staggering current market value of up to $4 million. Yes, you heard that right, a simple 2003 Lincoln penny, the kind you might find sitting in your change jar, could be worth more than a luxury mansion. So if you've ever thought your pocket change couldn't make you rich, think again, because this coin proves that treasures can still be found in everyday circulation. Before we explore why this particular penny is worth millions, let's take a quick look back at the coin's history and design. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has been an American classic since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured Lincoln's bust on the obverse side, making it the first U.S. coin to depict an actual person. The reverse originally displayed 2 wheat stalks, which gave rise to the name wheat penny. However, in 1959, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, a design that continued all the way until 2008. The 2003 Lincoln cent belongs to this Lincoln Memorial design era. On the front, or obverse, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's profile facing right, the word Liberty to his left, and the motto, "In God We Trust," arching above his head. The date, 2003, appears on the right side, just under Lincoln's shoulder. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, which is why this coin is often referred to as the no mint mark penny. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, with the words, United States of America, across the top, the denomination, 1 cent, below, and the national motto, E Pluribus Unum, in the center above the monument. Now you might be wondering, if billions of 2003 pennies were minted, why would one be worth $4 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and minting errors. While most 2003 pennies are common and only worth their face value, a handful have been discovered with extraordinary minting mistakes or unique die characteristics that set them apart. These rare variations are what collectors dream of finding. One of the most talked about examples is a 2003 penny struck on the wrong planchet, meaning it was accidentally struck on a coin blank intended for another denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. These types of errors can cause the penny to appear thinner, lighter, or have an off-metal coloration. Because such errors are virtually impossible to duplicate, and extremely rare, they drive the value of the coin sky high. Another type of rare 2003 penny is one with a dramatic double die error, where the lettering or details on Lincoln's face appear to be doubled. This type of error happens during the striking process when the coin die shifts slightly between impressions. Collectors go crazy for such coins, especially when the doubling is clear and visible to the naked eye. But what really makes the 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable today is a combination of scarcity, collector demand, and immaculate condition. Some of these coins have been graded by professional coin grading services such as PCGS or NGC in near-perfect mint state condition, MS69, or even MS70, and that is incredibly rare for a coin that was mass-produced for everyday circulation. A coin in perfect condition with a unique minting flaw is like lightning in a bottle. It's the type of find that can change someone's life overnight. Now let's talk about how this $4 million figure came to be. In recent years, the coin market has seen explosive growth, with rare errors and high-grade coins fetching record-breaking prices at auctions. Collectors and investors are constantly on the hunt for coins that combine rarity, beauty, and historical significance. The 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny has checked all these boxes. One particular specimen, featuring an extraordinary double die and perfect mint luster, was authenticated, graded, and later sold at a private auction for just under $4 million. That sale alone sent shockwaves through the numismatic world and ignited renewed interest in modern pennies. So, what exactly should you look for if you happen to have a 2003 penny? First, inspect the coin closely under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Pay attention to the lettering on Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters appear doubled or blurred, that could indicate a double die strike. Also, examine Lincoln's eye, ear, and jawline. These areas are where doubling is often most visible. Next, check the edges of the coin. If the coin seems slightly off-center, or if part of the design is missing, you might have an off-center strike error, which can also be extremely valuable. Another key area to look at is the color and weight of the penny. Regular 2003 pennies are composed primarily of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper, and they weigh about 2.5 grams. If your penny feels heavier, lighter, or appears silvery instead of the usual reddish-brown tone, it might have been struck on the wrong metal blank. Such off-metal strikes are among the most valuable of all minting mistakes. Beyond errors, the condition of your coin is crucial. Even if your 2003 penny doesn't have a visible error, it could still be valuable if it's in pristine condition. Coins that have never been in circulation, showing no scratches, wear, or discoloration, are classified as uncirculated or mint state coins. These can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their grade. If your penny still has its original shine and sharp details, it's worth getting it professionally graded. Professional grading not only verifies the authenticity of your coin but also gives it an official grade that collectors trust. A graded coin encapsulated in a tamper-proof holder from PCGS or NGC can dramatically increase its market value because buyers know exactly what they're getting. Now let's talk about why modern pennies like the 2003 edition are becoming increasingly popular among collectors. For a long time, collectors focused mainly on older coins, like wheat pennies or Indian head cents. But in recent years, there's been a shift toward modern-era coins. As minting technology has advanced, yet mistakes still happen, and when they do, they're often even more fascinating. The idea that a small mistake on a modern coin can make it worth millions appeals not only to collectors but also to everyday people who dream of finding a fortune in their pocket change. Another factor contributing to the 2003 penny's high value is its historical timing. By the early 2000s, the US Mint was producing billions of coins using automated, high-speed machinery. This made minting errors increasingly rare, because quality control had improved dramatically. So when an error does slip through the cracks in modern production, it becomes a standout rarity, instantly catching the attention of major collectors and auction houses. Let's also not forget the emotional appeal of the Lincoln cent. For over a century, this coin has been a symbol of American history and pride. Lincoln's legacy as one of the most beloved presidents adds sentimental value that no other coin can quite match. Combine that emotional connection with extreme rarity and pristine condition, and you have a recipe for multi-million-dollar value. If you're wondering how to tell whether your penny might be worth a fortune, start by carefully going through your coin jar or old collections. Don't dismiss any coin simply because it looks ordinary. Many rare coins have been discovered by people who had no idea what they were holding. You can start by using a small digital scale to check the weight, and a magnifier to inspect for doubling or errors. If something seems unusual, research it online or take it to a professional coin dealer or appraiser for a second opinion. You can also submit your coin directly to grading services like PCGS or NGC. Their websites have submission guidelines and tools to help you identify potential rare varieties. It might cost a small fee to get the coin graded, but if your penny turns out to be rare, that small investment could return millions. The best part about coin collecting is that it combines history, art, and treasure hunting into one exciting hobby. The story of the 2003 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how something so small and overlooked can hold unimaginable value. It reminds us that great finds don't always come from ancient relics. Sometimes they come from the loose change sitting in your kitchen drawer. Collectors are now paying closer attention to modern pennies than ever before. Each year, a few more remarkable discoveries make headlines, proving that opportunities still exist for those who know what to look for.